Welcome to Inside the Plastic Bubble. In today's episode with Dr. Burton and Reps Sundin, we discuss radiofrequency microneedling with Infini Genius.
So we want to talk a little bit about a procedure that's been all over Instagram recently. That's Kim Kardashian getting Morpheus 8. Now, this is a technology that's called radiofrequency microneedling. In fact, we've been using this technology for over 6 years.
Yeah, I think actually we've been using it for 7 total. We use a device called the Infini or Infini Genius. It was originally called Infini, and now it's been renamed for whatever reason as Genius, which is this is sort of the 2.0 version. But the real point of this technology is that energy is delivered at different layers of the skin with small little needles. They go in the skin. It sounds painful, but it's not. We are able to anesthetize the skin, and this can be used on the face and neck for skin tightening. It also resurfaces or rejuvenates the wrinkles on the face. And this is our go-to non-invasive. We do not use the Morpheus 8. There are reasons that we believe the Infini is both a better procedure and delivers better results for us. But it's all been in, this type of procedure has been in the news lately, so we wanted to give some insight into it.
And it sounds barbaric, but it's actually more technologically advanced than a laser. That by using needles, it does not really damage the surface of the skin. It manages to deliver the energy deep to the dermal layer where you want to deliver it to really affect tightening and rejuvenation of the skin without giving you prolonged downtime. Now, every laser company in the world, every med spa in the world probably has a version of this now. It's like a car. They all have great, crazy names like Morpheus 8,
Fractura, Profound, Vivace. There's
Inmed,
about 6 or
Secret
7 of these different devices. And what I always tell patients is there's a reason these devices came about. In the early 2000s, we were using lasers to try to tighten the skin. And I was one of the first people to use a Fraxel laser. And at that time, we thought that by putting energy on the surface of the skin, we could actually create a tightening. But what came to be a reality was that wasn't true. Those lasers are good for extracting pigment out of the skin, but they are not good for skin tightening, and they are not good for wrinkle ablation. Unless you really use them on very powerful settings, CO2 lasers can be used for some wrinkle ablation, but those settings do tend to produce a lot of downtime and peeling of the skin. The radiofrequency microneedling device is the one, as I said, we use, Infini Genius. They really take a lot of the downtime out, and they deliver the energy where it's supposed to be or needed. And these devices develop out of the need for skin tightening and the need for reducing the appearance of wrinkles, and they really deliver.
And treating multiple skin types.
Yeah.
And we can treat up to Fitzpatrick 5, which is a very dark-skinned individual without necessarily having a high risk of any pigment changes or problems, which you can't do with your typical optical-based laser or light-based energy sources like lasers and stuff like that.
Absolutely. That is a really important point. The lasers can only be used like on skin types 1 and 2 generally, and we can use Infini over the whole spectrum. We have had a lot of experience with Infini, and we have learned how to get you an excellent result with it. A lot of people are taking these type of devices and they're delivering them more as an esthetician-driven treatment where it's sort of a low level of energy delivered, but you really have to get to a certain degree of aggressiveness with it to get a good result. The way we do that is we've learned the settings that will deliver enough energy to actually deliver the result, and we also use topical local anesthesia plus an injectable local anesthesia, and this really gets the face numb so the patient can tolerate the procedure. And in cases where somebody might even need a little bit more, we provide some oral sedation for them, giving them some pain pills and Valium. They're awake. It's not really anesthesia, but we are able to get people who are maybe a little more skittish comfortable that way. And with those techniques, we can really get 2 good treatments with the Infini. It requires 2 treatments about 4 to 6 weeks apart. Downtime is about 5 to 7 days of redness, and you can wear makeup after 48 hours. But this is a really important part of the armamentarium that we have to even bridge people to facelifts if they don't want, or they're not ready for a facelift, or they're too young. What else do you think, Reps?
I think one important thing to realize about all these devices are tools, and it really depends on the user. You can have the same tool and two different people using it to get entirely two different results. So we do have a lot of experience with it. We turn our settings way up compared to your traditional aesthetic med spa. And we can do that because we can numb the patient, we can get them comfortable, and I think we get better results from that. So don't focus so much on what the latest name or coolest model on the product is. Focus more on the doctor and the results you're getting. Is what I'd say.
And that's really important. I mean, that may sound like, oh, sour grapes, we don't use this particular one, or we didn't hop on that one at this time. But to be honest, these devices are marketing themselves not only to the doctors but to the consumers, which are the patients. And it's like any other type of advertising. I think it's really important to make an informed decision and understanding what treatment you're getting with these devices. That goes across all medical devices or fillers or anything that is being used. It's not just something that you should just say, oh, I want that treatment because it looks cool. And going back to the spokespeople, like the Kardashians or influencers getting treatments, they're paid spokespeople as well. So,
no.
Yeah.
Really?
Really. Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
So anyway, those are things that you have to consider when somebody's saying, oh, this is the latest, a total game changer. You want to make sure that you're getting a good somebody who has experience with the device.
Yeah.
And the body, use of this on the body for stretch marks and skin tightening, this kind of technology really doesn't work quite as well for that, even though it's sort of purported on Instagram that this is going to tighten you up without a tummy tuck. If you're going to use that, there's a whole nother technology we'll talk about in a different segment called Renuvion that really tightens the bands that connect the skin to the underlying muscle.
You won't find many before and afters of the body treatments of these radiofrequency microneedling. There may be one or two out there on the web. And the face now, it works excellent on, and I think the results you see online and in the books are similar to the results we get on our patients fairly consistently.
Yes, I think that's absolutely true. So. Good for face and neck, not as good for body, and we have other technologies for skin tightening and other surgeries for that. So anyway, that's our sort of comments on radiofrequency microneedling. And if you want to come in and see us talk about Infini
that's
or
the
Infini
skinny
Genius,
with Dr. Sundin.
Yeah, that's the skinny inside the plastic bubble. Thank you for watching Inside the Plastic Bubble. If you like our content, please be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.